Michael.
One real quick, probably belong more up in the ward report, and probably I could do it by a phone call, but I keep forgetting. And that is over at the airport. I noticed there's I hate to call it abandoned, but it looks like there's been a fuel truck, a helicopter fuel truck that's been parked there for months that hasn't moved. It's over on that gravel area just off the parking lot toward the Marion Carl Museum there. Yellow, I think it's a yellow truck, but hasn't moved in months, so just kind of wondering what's going on there. And then the other thing that really belongs underneath this item is I'd just like to bring forward maybe at next meeting or put it on the agenda. And it has to do with that email I think I sent to Eric and Rick and Larry, but regarding the use of the downtown or the building that we have on Jackson Street across from the old police station, and using that to help spur some development in the downtown area. So I'll provide the details next.
Michael? Steve?
A couple of things. In the last few weeks, I've had a couple of different folks come up to me and ask they were struggling with different business development situations. One of them was wrestling with some of the language in C1 versus some of the language in C2, and their zone C1, and they are attempting to open a barber shop, beauty salon kind of thing, and C1 does not mention that at all. There are a whole list of things in C1 that are businesses that are similar to what's in C2, only limited in size to 1,500 square feet. One of the things not specifically mentioned in C1 is a barbershop beauty salon, which is mentioned specifically in C2. For that reason, cannot be approved. So I'd like to get put on the agenda for next week to propose an amendment to C1 to specifically include the activity of a barbershop in C1. I don't see it doesn't. If you look at all the different things that are in that zoning, it just doesn't make sense for that to be excluded specifically. So that's number one. The other item is specific to what we heard tonight, the difficulty that folks are having in getting a business started. And what I'd like to work through is examining how the city can better facilitate the process of getting a business license and opening a business, instead of it feeling like roadblocks everywhere that they run into. What we can do to better facilitate that. It's very frustrating to hear that people are feeling like, and whether they're misinformed or misunderstood or whatever it is, that shouldn't be the case. And our government should be there to assist in every way possible, getting businesses open and as quickly as possible, given especially the economic environment that we're in. So I'm not sure where to go with that exactly, but I really would like to discuss that more and get that to be a huge focus on what we do. We hear about what the partnership's doing in terms of looking for leads and everything, and then what we're doing with very small businesses and locally is just making it really next to impossible for them to get open. In some cases, in these two cases anyway. So I'm not sure exactly where to go with that, except that I really think that we need to put on the agenda or have a discussion or assign staff to look at it a little closer or something.
On the C1 versus C2, doesn't that have to go through the Planning Commission?
Mm-hmm.
And there's...
The process is to get that.
But we could initiate that here.
Sorry.
Oh, we could. I think I was just saying that we could initiate that process here. It would then go to the plan. We would, if we wanted to do that, we could say we want to do that. It would then go to the Planning Commission for hearings. And
right, I believe that
If it goes
that
I believe that's what Councilor Teixeira is intending, is that there be a discussion at next meeting of whether the council wishes to initiate the process for a legislative amendment, which would involve a notice to DLCD and also a hearing at the Planning Commission on it, public hearing on it. But there's first step, like he is indicating, is a council discussion about whether to initiate that process. So.
On the second, your second item, Steve, I think that's an interesting topic to discuss. I was just trying to figure out the format, and maybe one of the things I think staff was going to return with some information on the issue that we heard about tonight. But are you thinking like a workshop to kind of understand the process of? Because I'm not sure I know it all how they do it, but.
I think a workshop would be a good place to start. I think we really, whatever the process is, I don't know, but I think we really need to look at that and see what it is that's going wrong, if anything. But it seems to me that even if it's just a matter of providing better education to people that are looking to start businesses.